It began as a whisper, a quiet murmur threading its way through the bustling streets of Manila and echoing softly in the break rooms and corridors of Saudi workplaces. At first, it was just a few words exchanged in hushed tones, a sense of anticipation that something monumental was about to unfold. That whisper quickly transformed into a rumor, spreading like wildfire across social media platforms. Screens lit up with speculation and hope, as Filipinos everywhere, at home and abroad, shared snippets of unconfirmed news, their excitement growing with every new post and message. Then, almost overnight, the rumor became a roar. The energy was palpable, as if the entire Filipino community, both in the Philippines and in Saudi Arabia, was holding its breath, waiting for confirmation of what could be a life-changing announcement. On October 1st, 2025, the world seemed to pause. In both Manila and Riyadh, people stopped in their tracks, eyes glued to electronic billboards and television screens, as a live broadcast promised to deliver news that would reverberate across continents. From the grand halls of the royal court in Riyadh, the Saudi king's live address was transmitted to millions. The gravity of the moment was unmistakable, as two nations, long connected by history, labor, and dreams, waited in anticipation. In a speech centered on unity and gratitude, the king looked directly into the camera, his voice steady and sincere. He declared, "The Filipino people who have helped build our nation are not just workers. They are our partners. They are our family." His words carried the weight of decades of shared struggle and achievement. The statement, simple yet profound, instantly ignited a firestorm of emotion. Tears welled up in the eyes of many who had long felt invisible, and families thousands of miles apart felt a sudden, powerful connection. In Manila, traffic came to a standstill as people stared at their phones in disbelief. The initial shock quickly gave way to cheers, laughter, and even spontaneous celebrations in the streets. Taxi drivers honked their horns, vendors hugged strangers, and a sense of national pride swept through the city. In Saudi cities, Filipino nurses paused in hospital corridors, construction workers set down their tools, and domestic helpers gathered around screens. Their faces broke into wide, incredulous smiles, as if a heavy burden had suddenly been lifted from their shoulders. For millions, the king's statement was more than a political gesture. It was a deeply personal validation. It acknowledged the sacrifices made by those who left their families behind, sending money home and building bridges between two worlds. For generations, overseas Filipino workers carried both pride and pain, often feeling like outsiders in a foreign land. This proclamation shattered that perception, offering a sense of belonging and recognition that had long been overdue. Almost instantly, hashtags like Das Saudi Filipino Family and Pinoy Pride KSA began trending worldwide. Social media feeds filled with messages of hope, gratitude, and unity, as both Filipinos and Saudis celebrated this unprecedented moment. On the ground, the atmosphere shifted. In markets, offices, and homes, Filipinos and Saudis greeted each other with newfound warmth and respect. The invisible barriers that once separated them seemed to dissolve, replaced by genuine camaraderie. Saudi employers echoed the king's words, telling their Filipino colleagues, "You are family." These gestures, both big and small, signaled a new era of partnership and mutual appreciation. This was not just another headline, it was a cultural turning point. The proclamation promised to redefine the relationship between two very different, yet inextricably linked peoples, ushering in a future built on respect, gratitude, and shared dreams. The world watched in awe as a new chapter began, one filled with hope, unity, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow for both nations. In the days that followed, a tangible change settled over Filipino communities in Saudi Arabia. Conversations in Filipino stores buzzed with excitement about the king's speech. Saudi employers reached out, and workplace interactions grew warmer. Filipino engineers and nurses were greeted with genuine smiles and heartfelt thanks. Everyday moments, like a cashier being asked his name or a driver invited for tea, became building blocks of a new reality. The king's words gave Filipinos a new narrative. They were no longer just workers, but valued members of a larger community. Hope and pride filled their evenings, as they gathered together, feeling truly seen. The king's statement sent ripples across the global Filipino diaspora. In Dubai, Hong Kong, and beyond, Filipino communities celebrated, seeing it as a victory for all OFWs. Back home, the news dominated headlines and inspired national pride. The narrative shifted. OFWs were not just sacrificing, but serving as global ambassadors. Internationally, Filipinos felt a new respect, their compassion and dedication recognized. The king's words gave new weight to the title, Modern-Day Heroes. Conversations began about better protecting and celebrating OFWs. The royal statement made Filipinos reflect on their identity and the strength of their people. After the royal announcement, daily life in Saudi Arabia began to change. The formal distance between Saudis and Filipinos softened, replaced by genuine connection. Saudi families saw their Filipino staff as integral to their lives, not just employees. Conversations deepened, and small acts of empathy built bridges of friendship. In neighborhoods, cultural exchanges flourished. Filipino dishes at potlucks, shared stories, and mutual curiosity. The king's words encouraged kindness and connection, breaking down old barriers. Filipinos felt more at home, and Saudis gained a deeper appreciation for those who helped shape their lives. The kingdom became a place of newfound belonging for millions. In the Philippines, the king's statement brought a wave of relief and joy. Families of OFWs, long burdened by worry, felt reassured and proud. Social media exploded with celebration, and Pinoy Pride KSA became a digital fiesta. Children and parents posted messages of thanks, and celebrities amplified the pride. The news cast OFW work in a new, honorable light, erasing old stigmas. Sacrifices felt validated, families could hold their heads high. The collective celebration strengthened national identity and resilience. The king's words gave families a story of dignity and honor to share. Filipino warmth and care were recognized as forces that build bridges across cultures. The bond recognized by the Saudi king was built over 50 years. Filipino workers arrived during the oil boom, helping construct modern Saudi Arabia. Over decades, their roles expanded, from construction to healthcare, hospitality, and beyond. Filipino nurses became the backbone of hospitals. Service workers brought dedication and cheer. They adapted, learned the language, and built communities far from home. Their remittances fueled the Philippine economy, but their true legacy was trust and reliability. Today, Filipinos contribute to Saudi Arabia's knowledge economy and culture. The king's statement was the culmination of this enduring partnership. At the heart of Filipino service is Malasakit, a deep, empathetic commitment to others' well-being. It's the nurse who comforts a family, the driver who goes the extra mile, the nanny who loves as her own. Rooted in family and community, Malasakit is carried abroad by OFWs. Filipinos invest emotionally in their work, nurturing relationships, not just completing tasks. This builds profound trust with Saudi employers, turning professional ties into personal bonds. The king's statement was the ultimate recognition of this unique trait. Filipinos offer more than labor. They share their humanity. Malasakit is the quiet force that transforms workers into family. The king's words come alive in everyday stories across Saudi homes, where bonds are formed not just by duty, but by genuine affection and shared experiences. Elena, a nurse, became my daughter to an elderly patient, honored as family in mourning. She was there through moments of joy and sorrow, offering comfort and companionship that went far beyond her professional role. Ben, a driver, served one family for decades. His employer celebrated his son's graduation as their own. Over the years, Ben became a trusted friend, sharing in family milestones and being present for every important occasion. Maria, a nanny, guided a new mother and was embraced as family at her own daughter's wedding. Her wisdom and kindness helped shape the lives of the children she cared for, and her presence was cherished at every family gathering. These stories show Filipinos weaving themselves into the fabric of Saudi families, creating bonds that last a lifetime, and enriching the lives of everyone they touch. They become confidants, supporters, and pillars through life's milestones, offering guidance, laughter, and a steady hand during both celebrations and challenges. Their bonds transcend contracts and cultures, growing stronger with every shared meal, every story told, and every moment of understanding. They prove that family is built on care, presence, and love, wherever you are in the world, and no matter where you come from. The King's Declaration is lived out in these quiet, powerful connections, reminding us that true family is found in the hearts we touch and the lives we share. The OFW journey is one of sacrifice, a path marked by courage and unwavering determination. Every departure from home is a leap of faith, a promise to loved ones that better days will come, even if it means facing the unknown alone. There are missed milestones, birthdays, graduations, anniversaries, moments that pass quietly while they work far from home. Loneliness often lingers, but it is balanced by hope, the hope for a brighter future for their families and themselves. Yet, wherever Filipinos go, they create a sense of home. They build communities, offering support, laughter, and understanding to one another, turning strangers into friends and friends into family. They celebrate small victories, share meals, and care deeply for each other, forming families of the heart in foreign lands. These bonds help them weather the toughest storms. The King's praise honors not just their hard work, but their indomitable spirit, resilient, compassionate, and always hopeful, no matter the challenges they face. Their legacy is found in the connections they forge, the kindness they spread, and the bridges they build between cultures and communities. They bridge cultures, maintaining their Filipino identity while embracing and respecting the traditions of others, fostering understanding and unity. The viral story of October 1st, 2025, is a celebration of this enduring legacy, a moment when the world paused to recognize their contributions. The royal proclamation cast a global spotlight on these quiet heroes, these modern-day pioneers who inspire with their strength and perseverance. Through resilience, compassion, and heart, Filipino workers have truly earned their place as family, both at home and across the world, wherever their journey takes them.